just when you think there's no West Ham news at all, the club go and create some for themselves. In fact, they create a bit of drama, they make a fire, and then they extinguish it, but it gives us something to talk about. In fact, that's not the only news, actually. We've been linked with 2 strikers, 2 West Ham players set to leave as well. New rumours as well, not even old regurgitated ones. But it did occur to me, actually, and I thought, well, hold on a second, we are on the cusp, aren't we, of the transfer window? It's upon us. It's a couple of days of merriment, and then we're sort of into the transfer window. So why wouldn't there be speculation now? In many respects, this speculation is going to be the most likely. That's for sure. Before I go and talk about that speculation, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for loads of the kind messages that I've received. It's been great. It's been a great year at Hammers Chat. Been an honour and a privilege to share so much of it, particularly bearing in mind we won our first cup in 43 years with so many of you guys as well. I saw so many of you actually in Hackney Wick on that drunken night of triumph. Hey, you can't get drunk when you win your first trophy in 43 years. When can you? So I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. I won't be uploading tomorrow for obvious reasons. And I wasn't even planning on doing one tonight, but there was just so much of it. I thought, actually, let's do a little cheeky video. It's an excuse to put the Christmas jumper on after all. So the Jarrod Bowen thing. Now, obviously, as part of doing Hammers Chat, you're either at the game like Gio was, or if you're here, then you're doing the preview, or you're doing the review, or the watch along, whatever the case may be. So you don't get to see the pundits on the telly. And I very rarely get to hear Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville talk about West Ham. Well, this time it was the game was on TNT because it was the early Saturday kickoff. And apparently, and I haven't seen it myself, Mark Noble was talking about Jarrod Bowen. He was particularly talking about Jurgen Klopp's. I think, look, Jurgen Klopp was flashing his knickers, quite frankly, fluttering his eyelashes, flashing his knickers at Jarrod Bowen, saying he's my favourite player. Probably in a different accent to that, but you get what I'm saying. Mark Noble was asked about it, and he sort of batted it away to a certain extent, but then Paul Scholes, who evidently was in the studio as well, asked Mark Noble, and he said, does Jarrod Bowen have a release clause? So Mark Noble, rather than just saying no, said, I'm not telling you. Which, now listen, I didn't hear it. That could have been delivered in any number of ways. Could have been, I'm not telling you. It could have been done like that. Or he could have, do another one, he could have been done I'm not telling you. Even if he did, I wouldn't tell you. It could have been done jokey. I don't know how it was done. But it wasn't a great headline, to be fair, because obviously that's the stories that were doing the rounds, wasn't it, today? That obviously, and when you put it with the story, Klopp is interested in Jarrod Bowen. Oh, and West Ham's sporting director failed to deny that West Ham's prize attacker has got a release clause or not. I mean, so it wasn't particularly good. I tell you what is good, though, is that the club have come out unequivocally, categorically. Normally you get stuff from a club source. No, David Sullivan was saying, name me. Never mind club source, name me. I did Bowen's contract. I was sat in a room with him. He loves West Ham, and there's no clause. There's no release clause at all, no buyout clause. He's here. It's a long-term contract. Don't worry about it. So there you go. I think it is a case of enjoy your Christmas as far as that's concerned, because that's a good thing. You didn't really need to hear that. It's always got to be some sort of bad news just to come and sour a bit of good news, because that was a really, really good victory, wasn't it? And obviously since we last spoke on a video, Luton got that. Well, it wasn't a miraculous win actually against Newcastle. Luton deserved it, and fair play to them being after what's happened to their captain. I thought their manager conducted himself so well. What a guy! There's a lot to admire there. But anyway, so they did us a massive favour. It meant that Newcastle couldn't overtake us, and we spent Christmas in 6th position. How good is that, right? Absolutely brilliant. So so let me tell you a couple of the transfer rumours and the tittle-tattle. Let's go with Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah, this is what the rumour's doing around. I didn't make it up. Don't shoot me. I'm just reading the news. It's 40 million from Arsenal. Well, first of all, I think, hold on a second, 40 million. That's a little bit steep. Now, I thought he's played well against us. I've seen him play well on other occasions, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit steep for me. I'm not interested at that price. Not that I have anything to do with these things at all. I mean, it's also interesting. Do you remember we were interested in him when he was available on a free? Do you remember? He wound his contract down at Arsenal when he was going to leave on a free. In the end, he ended up signing over £100,000 a week contract at Arsenal, so as they could sort of safeguard their investment, basically. So Yeah, I mean, they're not doing too bad in those sort of terms. I mean, do you remember they were what was his name? Balogun. That was it. The striker that was on loan at Stade de Reims last season for Will Still over in France. Scored loads of goals over there, but he was actually on loan from Arsenal, and they were demanding 50 million for him. Folarin Balogun, I think that might have been his name. So anyway, yeah, they do tend to price their strikers quite high. 40 million, I think that would probably stick in the throat a little bit. Bearing in mind we almost got him for a free. I don't think so. No, look, not for me anyway. And then obviously there'll be a load of people saying, well, do we need one? We've got this front three that are firing. But believe you me, we need one. I find it really hard to consider Lucas Paquetá as a forward. Well, he's creative, but imagine how good we would be if we had like Bowen, Kudus, and one other, and Paquetá. That would be a little bit special, right? It really, really would. And plus, well, look, Kudus is going off on the African Cup of Nations. We need one. I was looking at that bench the other day, thinking there wasn't a single game changer on there. Players with skills like Benrahma, yes, but you can't. Is Benrahma a skillful player? Yes. That's different to whether Benrahma is a game changer. He's not changing any games at the moment, is he? So with the form he's in. And so I was looking at that bench thinking, we could really do with someone that David Moyes fancies and David Moyes wants to bring off the bench. So that brings us to Serhou Guirassy, who, of course, has been he's been banging in the goals in Germany for Stuttgart. Apparently Man United are very interested. We've been linked with this guy, so we've been linked again. I think anytime anyone's interested in, we get linked. He's the guy, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I wrote the story. I reported on a story that he'd said he'll go whoever pays the most money. Whoever gives him the most wages, that's where he's going to. Which I sort of admire his honesty. My word, Manchester United look like they need some attackers, but it looked to be... Anyway, I was going to start saying what I thought Man United needed. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? We're above them. That's for them. That's for them to worry about. Quite frankly, another one. Another two actually. Just quickly, Areola to Chelsea. Hadn't heard that one before. That is interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. I mean, I think that would have to be a firm no for me. And do you know what? Well, number one, I don't want to sell him, and number two, I think I'd probably say to him, that club is a graveyard for goalkeepers at the moment. You don't really want to be going there. Stay here, be number one. I mean, David Moyes has shown the faith in him. He was out with the wrist injury for a little bit. Even though Fabianski kept back-to-back clean sheets, and then Areola came back and conceded 5, he still kept Areola in for the Man United game. So I think, you know what, you're number one, you've done it now, you've won a trophy, stick it out here. We're pretty happy with him at West Ham, I'm sure. Finally, Thilo Kehrer to Roma. This from Fabrizio Romano. Now, what's interesting is that, and he normally gets this stuff right, we offered Thilo Kehrer to them. Not they're interested in Thilo Kehrer, we offered it to them. Now, Roma, as I understand it this season, they're in 6th position in Serie A, but they're miles away from the top, like 16 points. That's too much. Apparently they've invested quite a lot in wages, the Roma board. They're not happy with it. They've been scoring loads of goals. Romelu Lukaku, remember him? He's over there scoring tons of goals at the moment. But their defence isn't quite so clever. And, well, West Ham are saying if we can get our money back, which is basically 10 million, he's available. But the fact we're pimping him out and offering him out, I do think it's really interesting. Us saying to other clubs, oh, we've got this player. If you want him, it's not great, is it? I mean, it would be great for Thilo Kehrer, really. But for both reasons. Number one, the thing that the club that you represent are trying to get rid of you so openly. And also the fact that you'd also wonder if anyone's coming. The fact that we're offering him out, if you've ever got anything to sell and it's really good and people want it, you don't ever have to advertise it. People turn around to you and say, if you're ever selling that, can I have it, please? And that's really how it goes. The fact that people know that Kehrer's available and no one's come in and we're having to go directly to other clubs and saying, do you want to buy this thing that we've got? It doesn't bode well, and I don't think it's very good for Kehrer. But again, I think we could have used him a lot more than we have. That's for sure. Not that I've got any complaints about the centre-back pairing that we saw against Man U. They did rather well, didn't they? Kurt Zouma and Konstantinos Mavropanos. So, yeah, hey, look, there you go. Anyway, that's the West Ham news for the day. Probably, for the next 2 days, actually. Feast on that for the next 48 hours, I think, because I'm going to be feasting on, turkey mostly. Turkey and got a lot of desserts, got a lot of puddings, a lot of snacks, a lot of crisps. It's not going to be a particularly healthy next few days. But anyway, listen, aside from eating a load of junk, stay healthy yourself. Have a lovely, lovely time. Enjoy your time with your friends and your family. Enjoy the fact that West Ham are giving you a sort of, giving you a little break, aren't they? A little festive break in 6th position. So anyway, thanks for sticking with us throughout. It's not like end of the year thing, but you know what I'm saying. Thanks for sticking with us. I really appreciate you, as always, watching all the videos, or even just some of the videos. Any of the videos will do me. Very, very Merry Christmas, and I will catch up with you on Boxing Day.